right, here we are, another episode of Elevation Project Debrief. Today we're going to talk about a back patio we did. Paulo, do you want to go over the scope of work real quick?
Yeah, so with this patio, we did tie into the existing roof. So we put 6x6 posts, and we had to put a structural beam because of the span of how wide the patio was. And we did on this one, it was a gable style roof. So it had two sides, two faces to it. We matched the shingles to match the existing. Obviously, they're not always like 100% exact, the same color or anything like that, just because it's the old shingle, with new shingle going on. But we wrapped everything in a hardy plank board, so it's a cement board for exterior surfaces. So the columns, we wrapped them. We put little base on them and crown molding on the top of it to kind of, that way you don't have the joints in between the pieces, and did all of that. The concrete that we laid it all on was stamped concrete. So that was kind of, I think the unique thing about this project was, you see a lot of patios and you see a lot of, the broom finish with a kind of a picture frame layout and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's a unique kind of style of concrete that you can make it look like it's brick. You can make it look like it's stone. You can put different colors in it. So that is even better that now I can see that so we had our columns that are all right there. We went ahead and
did we do 4 across? We'll see in the photos, but I think we ended up doing 4
columns. Yeah, I think we ended up, originally I think we wanted to do with that, but I think for cost purposes, because of the beam, how expensive it was maybe to go that distance, we ended up putting an additional post or 2 in there, so that way we didn't have to go with that type of a beam.
Yeah, and as you can see, there's no concrete here, and we typically don't draw out every single project, but as you could see, like up here, the roof is just so unique. To tie into that roof was just kind of complicated, that we wanted to make sure that we had the drawings so that way our guys can know exactly what they're building towards. Let's see here. So I've got the drawing. Here we go. So here's the drawing. Like I said, we don't do this for every single project, but for this one, we felt it was necessary so we can give it up to our team who is actually going to build it, and they can see exactly what we're going to do. So so we did the 4 columns right there.
Yeah, we did end up doing the 4 columns, and we ended up not going because of the way that it was tied in. I think originally we did want to go with that gable roof because you see how that roof line, it splits into 2 faces there. We were going to come up from that top part, but we ended up just sloping it. So it's still a 2-face roof, but it's a single slope. So it didn't have like that kind of triangular shape in the front of it, where you have that opening. So we did make that adjustment on there. But yeah, it was mainly this overhang right here, that side that we're to the right there where you're looking at. That was the difficult part, was tying into those 2 slopes that had right there.
Yeah.
And then of course, is designing it properly so that way we can connect the gutters appropriately and do the downspouts and all that and make sure drainage gets away. But yeah, I think we like we had said briefly, was we wanted to go with just the 2, but we did end up putting those additional columns in.
Yeah. So anyway, so this is just the drawing that we did. It really helps out the team on the ground, knowing exactly what kind of material to use and whatnot. So let's see here. That's that. Let's take a look at some of the before photos. Actually, the before photo is this one here. And then we can look at some of the photos here that we took. This is during, so this is before we poured the concrete. And then we also had electrical in here too, right? Because they wanted to throw some.
We put some lights in. I believe there was 2 fans also that were put in. We added an outlet for a TV on the right side where that wall right there. Yep, we added that. And then I believe we did 2 outlets, so 1 on each outside column.
Got it. Okay.
So they were exterior outlets. That way they could plug in, whatever that they need to at that time.
Here's a video. Did that for social media purposes. And here's the stamped concrete.
Yeah.
So it turned out nice.
I mean, it's nice, because I mean, the other alternative is going in with some pavers, and sometimes that can be even more expensive than what you can get
Right.
from this damn concrete. And you know, is this concrete? It's not going to shift on you or anything like that. It's
Right.
rebarred in. It's got all the proper things that need to be done. And you can kind of play with the color, you know, whatever color that you want. When you're dealing with pavers, is you have a certain selection depending on what area you're in, of colors that they provide and all that. If not, you're looking at like special order items, and then you're getting even more expensive on that.
Right. Yeah, this turned out really nice. After photo or video here. So we ended up, not everybody does permits on these projects for the back patios, but we ended up doing a permit anyway, just for resale purposes. If you're going to sell and you got a buyer who's like, hey, did you get this permitted? You can say with confidence, yeah, this was permitted. So we got this permitted. We drew it out for them because the HOA required it. We drew it out on their survey. So that helped out with their HOA as well. Anything unique or specific about this job that was maybe different than your average patio job?
Well, the slopes and the angles of the roof was definitely a little bit more complicated and unique in this situation. And then two, I guess one thing too was they had irrigation. Because all this was like grass before, right? So they had sprinkler systems that ran through the middle of where we put this concrete pad, and right there on the perimeter where the columns are at. And so we did have to dig them up, cap the lines, take out what we, you know, didn't need anymore, do another inspection to make sure everything was, you know, sealed tight and all of that. So that was a little bit unique on this one, is just rerouting that. Wasn't too difficult, you know what I mean? It is nothing that's like a brain buster or anything, but it was something that we looked at and made sure that we really relocated those appropriately to where it could still supply to the outer layer, like, you know, where those plants are at right there. There's another line, but that was the main line that supplied out. So we had to make sure that it's still obviously connected and supplied and flowed properly, and still served its purpose.
Cool. Well, sweet, man. Anything else on this project?
No, I think that was it on this one. You know, it's a great completed back patio.
Yeah, we've done a couple others that we'll do some episodes on, but this one was pretty unique just because of the drawing that we had to do and tying into the roof. So, but anyway, it was a great project, and stay tuned for more episodes of our project debrief.